What it is, y'all, it's your boy Jones, and welcome to another episode of the Jones and Podcast, brought to you by Jones for Sports. We make sports better. And obviously, this past weekend, we just had Super Wild Card Weekend, NFL playoffs, and it was amazing. Majority of the games were close. A lot of games that a lot of people didn't expect to happen. We had comebacks. We had just a lot of fun just watching those games. So we definitely going to talk about that. We're definitely going to talk about my Cowboys and their big win against the Bucks. We're going to get into it all. But before we get into that, let's get into our sponsor, Hawkeye Protective Services. The world is a scary and terrifying place right now. And what's worse is the threats to our daily lives are constantly evolving. If you are 100% sure that your home and business are fully protected against these threats, call Hawkeye Protective Services. At Hawkeye, we are fully capable of diagnosing any security and safety risks and offer solutions to remedy these issues. Along with our partners, we promise full peace of mind and 100% satisfaction. Curious about how we can help you? Use the code JNFS and we will waive 10% off your final price. Do not wait. Use the code JNFS and we will waive 10% off your final price and secure your business and family today. Hawkeye Protective Services. DM me and holla at me. Great people. I know them personally. You will be protected. You will be good. DM me for any questions. And now let's get into the episode. So, like I said, Super Wild Card Weekend. Was it amazing? I mean, it was just fabulous to watch those games. All of them, besides the first one, Seahawks and 49ers, came down to the wire. Outside of the Dallas Cowboys one as well. But yeah, most of the games were just exciting to watch. And I had some surprises. There was definitely some surprises in that game that I didn't expect, and a lot of questions were answered for the time being. For some teams and some quarterbacks and things like that. So it was definitely great to watch. Please let me know how y'all felt about this wild card weekend, this past weekend. How did you think it was good for the NFL, bad for the NFL? If your team was one of those teams to have played, how did they do? What was the score? Are you encouraged, discouraged going forward? Let me know, because I need to know so we can talk about it more. But first topic I want to get into is, obviously, my Dallas Cowboys getting their first road win in 30 years and getting their first win against Tom Brady and his whole career. 7-1. Finally, we put that one on his record. Yes, it took till he was 45 to do it, but God damn it, I don't care. I don't care, because he would have gladly took that win at 45. So we'll gladly take that W against them at 45. All that being said, my Cowboys in that game was almost flawless. Honestly, they played a flawless game. Outside of the first series, everyone was a little worried. I was a little worried. Twitter was very worried, because I went on there for a second and everyone was just going in about we can't move the ball, offensive line looks trash, and all that. But as the game progressed, we obviously saw what happened. Dak finally showed up. And for those that have been watching me and supporting Jones for Sports, know that I am very hard when it comes to Dak's performance. I criticize the hell out of him, only because I'm a Cowboys fan, man. At the end of the day, if you ain't getting the job done, you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing as a player on that team, I'm going to criticize you. Still love you, but I'm going to criticize you because you deserved it. You earned it. And over the past few weeks, outside of this game, Dak has not been looking good. Everyone seen it. Everyone can say that Dak has not been one of those quarterbacks that you can count on in those last few games, especially the last game where they decided to play the starters to get some momentum going into the playoffs, and we looked horrible in that game. We looked very bad. Put up 6 points. Dak's probably one of his worst performances in his career. And then leading up to that, Jaguars, Titans, Houston. We didn't lose all those games, but Dak threw 1 or 2 interceptions in those games, and we didn't look good. Our defense wasn't looking that great as well. It was looking very, very bad for the Cowboys coming into this game. But we came into this game, and we got it done. And not only I'm not surprised that we won the game, I'm surprised in how well Dak played. I was not expecting Dak to play this well. Again, look at what his season looked like. He's tied first for interceptions, and the man missed 5 games. That tells you a lot. Led the league in interceptions, and he missed 5 games. That tells you a lot about his performance this year. So I didn't have that much confidence in Dak coming into this game. The only confidence I had in our team in this game is that they were playing the Bucs. That was it. The Bucs haven't been looking good all year. 8-9. They injuries throughout the team. Tom Brady's not looking like Tom Brady. Wasn't as accurate. Not on the same page as guys like Mike Evans and things. Can't run the ball. Defense doesn't look like they did a few years ago. So, I was happy that if we did have a team to play in the first round, if we did have to play in the first round, because there was obviously, the talk about possibly getting that number 1 seed if the Eagles lose and we win, and, all these things happen. But that was something that I didn't want. I didn't want that first round bye. I wanted us to go into the playoffs and play the Bucs because that was our best opportunity to win in the first round. And that's what happened. Yes, I can't say that I was nervous a little bit that Tom Brady would turn into Tom Brady of old and put up a performance that we're used to seeing him do in the playoffs, because this is when he makes his money. This is where he became the GOAT quarterback. So I wouldn't have been surprised if that had happened. And I was definitely worried about that, especially how the Cowboys have been playing the last few weeks prior. So I was a little bit worried, but Monday night's game definitely proved to me that, they put all that behind them. The regular season was the regular season, and that Monday started a whole new season. And that's the playoffs and the season that counts, where everything that you've done throughout the season, it all comes to these moments in the playoffs. And, our best moments throughout the season showed up on Monday. Dak was phenomenal. One of his, if not the best Dak Prescott performance in his whole career. Not only because he threw for 350, he threw 4 touchdowns and ran for 1, but it was just everything included. The moment, playing on the road against the GOAT, against a team you haven't beat, against a guy you haven't beat, after coming off of a horrible loss to the Washington Commanders, after leading the league in interceptions, throwing, I think he was averaging like a pick or 2 a game in the last 7 games or something like that. It was bad. He had a lot of things going against him. That team had a lot going against them. But they rose up and put all of it behind them, and they got the job done. They did it convincingly. So I was very happy in what I saw in Dak's performance. Hopefully we can get that again. We need that same Dak going forward in this playoffs, especially against the 49ers, who we know is going to be a tough team to play. A very tough team. We're capable, but they're going to be tough, and Dak's going to have to be on his best game, just like last week, because if not, we're probably going to go home, because the 49ers are a great fucking team. And in order to beat a great team, you got to be great. It's that simple. It's really that simple. So shout out to Dak for getting that A++ for him. Defense, A+ as well. Micah and the rest of those guys on that D-line and linebackers and just everyone just getting after it, pressuring Tom Brady. If you know me, way before I even had Jones of the Sports, one of the things I've always said about Tom Brady is, you got to pressure him. You got to make him uncomfortable in that pocket. Because if he sits there and he can count, the 5, then you're just done. You're done. You can't let him sit back there because he'll eat your defense alive. And you got to make him move. You got to make him scared to get hit because he's 45 years old and he don't want to get hit. And that's exactly what we did. We got after him. We made him uncomfortable. We made him hit the floor. We made him throw earlier than he wanted to, causing an interception that was very needed because if we didn't get that interception at that moment, they maybe score, and the game is looking a little bit different. So shout out to the defense, Dan Quinn, and getting those guys ready and playing a outstanding game. But again, we're going to need it 10 times more because that San Fran offense is no joke. No joke. They got pieces across the board. Across the board. And you got a third-string quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant, back there. And they're doing what they're doing because that system and Kyle Shanahan is just amazing. So, Cowboys defense, you're going to have to step it up even more coming into Sunday because the 49ers are no joke. Now, last thing that I want to talk about in that game is our kicker, Brett Maher, or however you say it. Brett the Fred, whatever they call him. Now, that was something I have never seen in my entire life of watching football. 4 missed extra points. Now, obviously, the extra point has been moved back to I believe the 15-yard line or something like that. So it's like a 25-yard kick. And it should be easy. But we know it's not. These kicks aren't easy. They are not easy. So let's just put that out there. I don't want everyone to just think that it's the old times where it was at the 2-yard line and it's a chip shot. It's that easy. Even though those have been missed too. But, dude, you've been great all year. You've been great all year. And for you to have a game like that, thankfully it did not cost us the game. That was something I was worried about during the game, that he keeps missing these damn field goals, these extra points. And we lose by 1 to 3 points. Cowboy Nation is going to be very upset. There's going to be a lot of upset people if it comes down to a goddamn field goal. Luckily, Dak did his thing, and it did not come down to that. But never seen anything like it. My confidence going into the next game is 50-50 because I still think he's a great kicker. I still think he can get the job done. But once you have a game like that, it's hard to get those demons out of your head. Sunday when he steps out there for the first time with that defense out there and he's looking at that goalpost, some of those demons are going to fight right back in his head, and I just hope he's strong enough to get through it, fight through it, and block it out as much as possible and kick some good field goals and put us in a position to win the game because as much as people hate kickers and hate that it comes down to a game can come down to a kicker who barely plays and puts as much work in as other teammates and players, and I understand all of that, I still love the kicking component because it can make or break a team. It can decide a game, and that's exciting. That's exciting as a fan. That's exciting for me. So, Brett, still believe in you. Hope you come back and you let those demons out, and you're back to the Brett that we were used to seeing you kicking 60-yarders and things like that. So, still confident in you. Just a little worried that those demons. I just hope those demons don't come to bite you in the ass on Sunday. Hopefully, we don't put you in a position that you have to kick too many field goals as far as field goals. Hopefully, they're just extra points where they're just worth 1. But I hope you get it done because I've never seen it, and I hope I never see it again, especially on my toe. That was the first segment. Now, I want to get into a special segment that was added to the Jonesy podcast that I haven't done in a while, but we're bringing it right back in 2023, which is She Got Game. She Got Game, y'all obviously know, where I shout out to any female athlete, whether it be pro, college, high school, local, doesn't matter. If I see you doing your thing, ladies, I'm going to shout you out because I feel like the ladies, women athletes in our world don't get as much praise as they deserve. They put in just as much time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears. So they deserve their props, their flowers while they're here, not when they're, gone and retired and things like that. So definitely want to keep that going. That's going to be something that I'm going to be doing on every podcast. Let's try to shout out those ladies. And even in my IG content, I'm going to try to do that for you ladies as well. But this one is a very special one because this is one of my favorite players of all time, Maya Moore. Congratulations to Maya Moore on retiring from the WNBA. 4-time champ. Now, look at these accolades, man. Because this woman was a baller. A baller. And I don't mean just from her WNBA career. I mean from jump. From high school, college, and the pros. So here go the accolade. 4-time champ. So she got 4 of them things. Finals MVP. Put it on there. League MVP. Put it on there. Rookie of the Year. 5-time All-First Team. 5-time All-Star. 2-time gold medalist. 2-time College Player of the Year. And a 2-time national champ. I mean, dang. That is a resume right there. That's a resume. When you can go all the way back to college, and I'm sure there's some high school things that you can put in there, but as far as getting into the Hall of Fame, they only counted up to college. Man, she getting in there. We know that. She definitely getting in there. So, Maya Moore, congratulations again to you on an outstanding career. You've inspired so many ladies, especially black ladies, to fight for their dream and believe that if you put in enough time and effort and hard work that you're going to get the job done. So congratulations to Maya Moore for your retirement. Wish you the best going forward as far as what you do next. We already know you're going to be a winner and a Hall of Fame in that as well. Now, getting into our second segment, coming back to Super Wild Card Weekend. And this segment is called the Super Wild Card Weekend Winners. So I'm going to name the winners of the weekend. Who are the top players, teams that I think had the best performances this past Super Wild Card Weekend. Please do the same in the comments once you get to this section. So for me, the first winner of the Wild Card Weekend was the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. Huge winners because this man threw 4 interceptions. 4 in his second year at quarterback. 4 interceptions in his first playoff game and found a way to come back from down 27-0. The man came back from 27-0 at halftime to win a playoff game. His first playoff game after throwing 4 interceptions. I'm not sure if y'all heard me. I said it a bunch of times, but I hope y'all understand what I just said. That this young man just overcame. There's some quarterbacks that have been in the league for 10 plus years with accolades forever that can't do what that man just did and that team just did. So shout out to Doug Peterson as well for getting that team ready and having them believe that they can get it done. Because when you think about this Jags team over the last few weeks, this ain't nothing new to them. They've been in positions like this before. They've been down and they've come back. You can ask my Cowboys. We had them down 17, believe in the third quarter. And these mother came back, Trevor Lawrence, and ate us up and got the W. So this Jag team is not a team to sleep on. They are for real. They are young, fast, strong, and they're getting after it. And they're coached well. Doug Peterson, a man that got a ring on his finger. Let's not forget it. Yeah, he got fired from the Eagles, but he found his way in Jacksonville, and now look what's happening. He got his team in the second round second round after a team that wasn't looking too pretty this year. Now, we knew they had had a promising future, but we didn't expect them to be this good, this fast. So, shout out to the Jaguars. I think that's huge momentum for them going into this next game against the Chiefs. But obviously, I'll give you more scores, my picks and stuff like that later on during the week. But the Chiefs got their hands full with the Jags coming up next week. My second winners of the wild card weekend, and I hate to do it, but you know me, I'm going to be real. No matter how much I hate your team, I'm going to keep it real. New York Giants and Daniel Jones. Big winners. Big winners. Can't lie. You obviously know I was rooting for the Vikings. Yes, I had the Giants have a chance to win the game because they almost beat them the first time. And I'm a realist when it comes to this sports thing. I'm not biased. I'm going to keep it real no matter how much I dislike your team. I'm going to keep it real. If your teams can beat a team, I'm going to say that they're going to beat the team. But I thought the Vikings would at least play better offensively. I thought defensively I thought it was going to be a high-scoring game, or somewhat of a high-scoring game. But I didn't think that the Giants would be able to put up that many points. I thought they would struggle a little bit. Daniel Jones would turn over the ball. And it would just be one of those type of games. And it would end close with the Vikings, giving the edge. But Danny Jones, my boy. You're only my boy because you got that last name, Jones. That's all I'm going to say. You're not my boy, but you got that last name, so you know I got a rep. But Danny Jones, man, he did his things. He quieted a lot of haters, and I'm one of them. I go off on Danny Jones a lot. I give him his credit when credit is due, and I know he also had a lot of things going against him as far as offensive line, not having being protected like that, receivers not being all that great. He had a lot of things going against him, coaching and all that. But when you give him the right pieces around him, you can see what he can do. And Danny Jones had a hell of a year. I think he should definitely be in the conversation for most improved player. I don't think he'll win it, but I think he should be in the conversation because he showed you what he can do. And he showed you what he could do with his legs. The man is a dual threat. The man can use his legs and make you play him that way. So, shout out to Danny Jones for having a hell of a game and making a lot of New York fans believers that weren't believers before. And then that's just more momentum for the Giants to beat that team when a lot of people didn't believe the Giants would even be there. I believe that the Giants had a strong defense in the beginning of the season. Before the season started, I thought they would be somewhat respectable, but I didn't think they would be at this point where they're actually now playing for a second-round playoff game. That's pretty dope. So shout out to the Giants. Y'all going to get y'all credit from me today. But after that, it's over. It's over. I ain't talking about y'all in this type of light anymore. All right? No more. So this is all y'all get. Y'all better be happy with that. And last, but certainly not least, my last winner goes to Dak Prescott and the Dallas goddamn Cowboys. Because we them boys. That's why. No, I'm just joking. But, no, it's got to go to Dak because after what I just said in the first segment, the man, the last few weeks have been horrible. When I say horrible, I mean horrible. Even in wins, the man has not looked good. I don't care what any other Cowboy fan has to say about it. A lot of Cowboy fans, Dak, he'll get past it and this, that, and the third. I don't want to hear it. I got to see it. I got to see it. I'm not one of those guys that you can say this, that, and the third. No, I need to see it with my own eyes. And that's what he did on Monday. But I needed to see it. I need to see it again. I put a poll on Twitter last night for Cowboy Nation about if you think, after seeing what you saw on Monday from Dak Prescott, what is your confidence level now within Dak Prescott? Has it rose? Are you at the same? Do you need to see it again? For me, I need to see it again. It rose. It definitely rose. Don't get it twisted. I definitely have more confidence in Dak today than I did yesterday. But that being said, I've seen Dak have amazing games one weekend and the next have a horrible weekend. So it's like this with him. So I can't just say, oh yeah, Dax is about to light the playoffs up. He's about to be the MVP of the playoffs. I can't go that far. He had a great game, but you got to do it again against a great team and a great defense, if not the best defense in football. So definitely more confident, but I need to see him do it again. Now, if he does what he did to the Bucks against the 49ers, I'm going to throw a goddamn parade. Because the 49ers, like I said, is probably the best defense in all of football. So if Dak can have another performance like that, oh, Super Bowl, here we go. Here the fuck we go. But can I sit here and say that I'm confident that that's the Dak that we're going to see? Hell no. I can't go that far. I cannot sit here and say Dak is going to do that again. I can't. I can say that he's going to go into the game more confident. He's going to believe in himself more and hopefully believe in the attitude and the way he went about playing that game. Making the smart decisions, not forcing anything. No turnovers. No turnovers for Dak Prescott after he's thrown 7 picks straight is a beautiful thing. But can I count on that again? I don't know. I just hope that the Dak that we saw on Monday is a Dak that we see for the rest of these playoffs. Obviously, I don't expect him to throw for 4 touchdowns again and have 5 total and throw for 300 yards plus every game. I don't expect that, but I expect him to be better. I expect him to be consistent. That's the big word, consistency. If you're not consistent in this league, you ain't going to win shit. That's just what it is. Go look at history. If you ain't consistent, you ain't going to win games. So, especially at this point in the playoffs, it's all about consistency. If you're not consistent in the playoffs, you're going home. So, we need another one of those games. But that is our second segment. And here is our last segment. As y'all know, I like to call this segment Better Ask Somebody, a segment dedicated to my late uncle, G-Man Boogie, from the old school, not the new school. A saying he used to always say, you better ask somebody. So it's when I'll just give you a fun fact about sports or whatever the case may be. In this situation, it's a fun fact about the wild card weekend. So the fun fact is, on March 29th, 1978, the NFL adopted a new 16-game schedule preceded by a 4-game preseason. An additional wild card team in each conference was added to the playoffs, with the 2 wild card teams squaring off during the first weekend of the postseason. So voila, wild card weekend started in 1978. Long time. What, we talking 40 plus years now. 40 plus years the wild card has been around, and now we have the super wild card weekend, which I believe was just adopted last season. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. It might have been just this season, but I know it's been around for at least a year or two. So obviously it's evolving. It's getting better. Me asking you guys, the listeners, what do you guys think of the Super Wild Card weekend, having those more games? Now adding a game. I'm not sure if this is going to be the situation every year, but they added a game on Monday night, which is what the Cowboys and Bucks did, which was awesome. To have those 2 teams on the big stage on MLK Day. Shout out to MLK and everything that he did for our community. Absolutely. But yeah, so quick fun fact, you better ask somebody. You dig? So it's your boy Jones, and you know I'm Jonesing, because we make sports better. Peace. It's your boy Jones, and this video is brought to you by Hawkeye Protective Services. To enjoy a nice discount, enter the code JNFS to get 10% off your final price. DM for more questions.